Hello and welcome to the Sports Social Club with Alex and Jess. I'm Jess.
I'm Alex.
And we're here today to talk about some fun sports news that's going on. And I guess we'll start off right with we'll go off with hockey since that's kind of what we touched on last week.
Yeah, right after our episode last week was the Colorado Avalanche and Dallas Stars first meeting since the trade with Mikko Rantanen to the Stars. I think we had mentioned they were like, oh yeah, we're doing some weird graphic thing that's supposed to like help with like younger viewers and watching the game. There was nothing on my TV. I don't
Yeah.
know I don't know if you saw something. I guess maybe it
Nothing.
was on another channel or something
It
like
had
that.
to have been because there was nothing.
Yeah, I was like, this looks the exact same to me. Because then I guess Cody found out later. You know how, like, when they do the Super Bowl and stuff, and they have like those like Nickelodeon versions or whatever. I think it was something like that, but it was
Oh.
on a different channel,
Oh, okay.
not
that
like
makes
the main
sense.
broadcast. Yeah,
That makes sense. Okay.
which I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't see that because I would have hated
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you noticed this when you're watching the game, but they would not stop talking about Mikko.
Mhm.
And what was kind of crazy is we were pointing out it's like the number of players who have been between the Stars and the Avs.
Mm.
Like multiple players on the Avs have played for the Stars, multiple players on the Stars have played for the Avs. Not once did any of them get mentioned. It
Yeah.
was only Mikko Rantanen and the fact that he was now playing against the Colorado Avalanche. It's like, I know that it was the most recent one,
Yeah.
but like Matt Duchene was on the Avs
Mhm.
for a long time. Valerie Nichushkin was on the Stars, and like like all this stuff. And I think there's another player that I'm blanking on that's on the Avs now that was on the Stars, and all these things. And I'm like, well, they were on there. Not mentioned at all.
No.
And I was actually getting really annoyed, even as like a Stars fan. And you're talking about our player. I'm like, please stop talking about him. Can we talk about anything else?
Yes, and I feel like even when we've had those trades in the past and things that have happened in the past, they usually don't spend as much time. Like they'll mention it at the beginning of the game, or they'll mention it, during intermission. But other than that, I mean, this was like, yeah, this was the whole game.
Yeah, I was really over it. And the Stars lost, which was
Yep.
super unfortunate.
It's awful.
I feel like they
After a
lost.
great comeback.
I know, because they were down early
Yeah.
by a couple goals, and then they came back with a couple goals really quick within like 30 seconds. They tied it up, and then they went to overtime, didn't they?
Yeah, went to OT.
And it didn't last very long.
No. It was a quick OT.
So that was unfortunate.
Yes.
But it's okay because the Stars are still third in the league overall, second in the division. I saw earlier that the Washington Capitals officially clinched their spot in the playoffs. I
Yep.
think they are the first ones to officially be in.
Mhm.
Before that, I think it was the Sharks officially clinched that they are not going to the playoffs.
Yes.
Because they're so
Which
bad.
Everyone saw that coming.
Yep. It's like, that's pretty sad that I think it was like at least last week, maybe
Yeah.
before, where they're like, yep, we've already gotten to the point. Even if you win out, you still can't make it.
Yep.
So pretty bad.
Yeah. It's sad.
And Ovechkin, I saw he scored again. So
Mhm.
last I saw, he was 7 goals away
Yep.
from tying or is it tie or
No, from 7 to beat.
7 to beat? 7 to
Mhm.
beat, so 6 to tie. Yeah, goals to beat Wayne Gretzky's record. So
Plenty of
it's
time
coming.
left. Yeah,
It's coming.
plenty of time.
And now that you know they're going into the playoffs, it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't have to rush. He's got
No, he's got time. Yeah, no forcing it.
Yes. I think that's all I have in terms of hockey. Nothing other than that, like, really significant happened
Yep.
this week, I feel like. Oh, I did see they were talking about, because, next year, 2025, will be the Olympics. So there's
Yeah.
no, like, all-star break or anything like that. It's Olympic break. And they had already said for 2026, because of how well the Four Nations did, they're most likely not doing just, like, the regular all-star break in 2026. They're probably going to do something more similar to Four Nations.
Good. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so as we had talked about previously, it was like a major shift in like, audience numbers and who was interested in watching and all that in terms of versus an all-star break. So clearly
That's exciting.
we saw it. Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
They saw it. Taking advantage of it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's even better.
Yeah. Other than that, I think our biggest topic right now is March Madness.
Yes.
A lot of games going on. We're a few days in. I know. So both men and women are through the first round of 64. Today's games are going to be the second half of the men's round of 32, and it's going to start the first half of the women's round of 32.
Yep.
Some disappointments in our fandom here. Oklahoma State women should have been favored. Yes, or they were favored yesterday. They were 7 seed versus 10 seed. Was it South Dakota State?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, yep. Should have won.
Yeah.
I had them winning in my bracket.
Same.
I was feeling confident.
They were them beating UConn the next round.
So did I. I saw that and I was like, why? What was I thinking? I was delusional thinking they were going to beat UConn. But
after UConn won their game by like 69.
I know. And I'm like, OSU, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was bad.
I didn't even watch the game.
I did.
Was it really bad?
They
were up at one point.
Yeah, no, they got up a little bit, but I mean, South Dakota State stayed in it, and we have like watching it was really crazy because I didn't realize how South Dakota State has had all their returners. So they haven't taken anyone from the portal. They showed like a graphic that was like the team, all the players on the team have played at least over 500 games together.
Wow.
Or 500 days together. And 500 days, not games, sorry. 500 days. And so I could see their like cohesion, like they're very, very great team together. But we had like this gigantic center who's like 6'4" versus their center down low was like 6'1". Like, I mean, it was like you had like an Amazon, and we somehow, the whole time I kept yelling because I was like, okay, just pass her the ball. She could easily just like put it in like right there. No, they didn't do that. They wanted to try to shoot threes, which we have been really good 3-point shooting team this year, but still it was very, very disappointing. It came down to the end, and yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Sad day. But we have a good program going forward, I think.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah.
At least they got in. That was a big deal for them, at least. I mean, the men didn't make the tournament.
No.
So great for them to come in, make the tournament. So hopefully next year will be a little bit better.
Yeah.
I was keeping up with the Creighton games because,
I
had some ties to them. And yesterday they had a big game against Auburn.
Yep.
They were doing really well in the first half.
Yeah.
Crushing the threes. I think they had like 9 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
And then it was close for a while, and then Auburn just kind of took off a little bit, and Creighton couldn't keep up. So
I was rooting for Creighton.
So was I.
I was really excited.
Creighton women also played yesterday at like the same time. I wasn't watching them as much just because I knew Creighton men had a higher chance of going farther. But Creighton women also lost, so Creighton is done in the tournament.
Sad day for Creighton.
Yeah.
Out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes, Omaha, Nebraska, for those who didn't know. Also from Omaha, Nebraska, University of Nebraska at Omaha had their first game against St. John's.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the beginning. I was like on my way home from work. So I called Cody and I said, "Are you watching the Omaha game?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, how much are they losing by?" And he's like, "They're winning." I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" And they had a great first half.
Yep.
I was able to watch the end of the first half and then the second. They were only down by 5 at halftime. They were leading most of the first half, down by 5 at halftime, which was huge because they were a 15 seed against number 2 seed St. John's, and first time ever being in the tournament. So the fact that they were like really holding their own, I was super surprised.
Yeah.
And then the second half started, and St. John's was like, "We're not messing around anymore."
Yeah, they were ready.
And they took off, and Omaha could not follow.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was unfortunate.
Yeah. It was a good game, though. I mean, to start, at least, it was a really good game. I was rooting for Omaha.
Yeah. And then, other than that, a few upsets have happened over the past couple days. Biggest one being yesterday, Arkansas over St. John's.
Yeah.
I did not have that in my pick.
No.
So,
no,
but
I don't think
awesome.
anyone did because it was a Calipari, Arkansas, which has been terrible this year. Terrible, especially. But they played the SEC. But for a Coach Cal team, they've been just very mediocre. And so for them to beat St. John's, I mean, it was so shocking.
Yeah.
Did not think it should have happened, but I mean, yeah, no, I felt bad for St. John's. Even though they were 2 seed, it still was like, I don't know. You had it going for them because they hadn't been like this good since like 1999. So
yeah,
huge deal.
Yeah, because I think when they beat Creighton in the conference final, it was like, yeah, their first conference championship in
Mhm.
like 25 years.
Yeah,
So
big deal.
this was their year.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
deliver.
couldn't do it. Couldn't do
No.
it.
Who did you have in your brackets? Who do you have winning each one? Are they still alive?
So yeah, so my brackets are still alive. I got Houston winning one of my brackets from work, and then Tech winning the other.
Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I believe in the Big 12. And the Houston one is actually the one where I'm ranked second overall in my work, and so that was my really good one. The Tech one, not so much, and I changed up a lot of different things, but I think that so on the first day, it was really really good. Like for those at home, I had so many greens.
Yeah.
I was going. But yeah, no, I mean, kind of rooting for little teams like I don't know. I had Mississippi State to go on. I had oh god, who was my other? Oh, I had UCSD to win. I
Yeah,
had
I have
A&M to keep going.
I had Mizzou getting
Yeah.
fairly far for some reason. I was feeling confident in them.
Yeah.
That kind of screwed me up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like you root for these, you root for upsets too, and so
Right.
to have them not win, it sucks.
Yeah. It's like I want the bad teams to upset the good ones. The bad
Yes.
teams.
The
They're
bad,
still in
yeah,
the tournament. They're still in
the
tournament.
littles.
Yeah. And then who did you have winning your women's bracket?
Oh, my women's bracket, let me tell you. So I had Oklahoma State to win one of them, and then that was my, hee hee ha ha bracket. I have South Carolina to win the other.
Yes, I have South Carolina winning as well.
Yep.
Which so far I'm not doing too bad. It says my bracket's at 64%, which is not good, but I still have an 1850 as my max, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that percentage.
Yeah.
Because I think as of right now, just looking at my picks and everything, I still have, as of today, the only every pick that I picked for the round of 32 can move on except for OSU. That was the only one that I
that's
got
really
wrong. So I
good.
could get every 32 pick right and move on to
Yeah.
the Sweet 16. So
That's not
I
bad
don't
at
know
all.
what this 64% is talking about. What
Yeah.
kind of math are you doing?
Heck
Can't
yeah.
trust this tournament app. I'm like, having one team wrong doesn't seem like 64% to me, but
No.
whatever.
Mm.
Are there, and then today, not in the main tournament, but in the NIT,
Woo.
big matchup we got,
Mhm.
Oklahoma State versus SMU.
Yes.
You are going to the game. Are you pumped?
Yes, so pumped, so excited. We're gonna win. I've never been more confident in my life.
I don't know. SMU doing pretty good.
No, they are doing really good. To be real with you, I really think we're gonna lose, but but I'm really excited to go. I was kind of surprised. Tickets are kind of going. Like
Really?
they're starting to. I look back at it this morning, and people are. I think this is actually going to be a more full game than I thought originally.
I think it's probably going to be the OSU fans coming in.
I think so. Because so much of our alumni is in Dallas,
Mhm.
and so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Hannah, who works at SMU, went to their first round game the other day, and she sent a video, like her dad was with her, and you see him like cheering. He's like, "Yeah, come on, let's go!" And then she pans, and the entire section is empty, and so like there was like nobody at the first game. So the fact that you're saying tickets are like selling out, I think it's got to be the OSU fans.
It's got to be
coming
OSU
in.
people, yeah.
Or SMU people are now more interested because
Yes.
they got past the first round. Okay, they're playing Oklahoma State. You know, some people might have ties to both, or
Yes.
or they're just like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like this team is like closer. I don't even remember who they played the first game, but I'm sure it was nobody exciting
Yeah.
regionally. So
Yeah, no, that's what. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. And I wonder also if tickets are going because I wonder if the school bought a bunch of tickets for students to come, or things like that, where it's like they want to get a lot of people there, so they're just buying them up. So I'm eager to see how Moody Coliseum looks today.
yeah,
Yes,
some Moody magic in there.
So excited, so excited.
Let's see other games that are happening today. Let's see, what are some big ones? Do you know any off the top of your head?
Let's see. We got Oregon, Duke is happening right now.
Oh, there we go.
And yes, so that's happening. Florida, UConn
Yep, they're going down
is
right
going
now.
on. Yep. And so and then we got Baylor, Duke, we got Illinois, Kentucky, we got um, St. Mary's, Alabama, Colorado State, Maryland, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Michigan State, New Mexico, Arizona, Oregon. I'm thinking honestly, the out of all these games today, I feel like they're. I don't know. I feel like the only upset we really could see, major upset, would be Ole Miss, Iowa State.
Mm.
I think Ole Miss is really gonna win that one.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
they've
have
been
Iowa.
playing.
I picked Iowa State, but we'll see.
I picked Ole Miss.
I didn't even have Ole Miss winning. Technically, I was supposed to have Iowa State versus North Carolina in that game.
Ah,
I was feeling confident with them for some reason, and they really disappointed me. So that was unfortunate.
yeah.
And then women, I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything that's super shocking today,
Yeah,
is my
no.
guess.
No.
You never know.
I
I would
mean,
love if
yeah.
Iowa could beat Oklahoma. That'd be good.
That'd be amazing, please. And then TCU Louisville would be interesting because Haley Van Lith or whatever
Yeah.
is it's her return against Louisville.
Mm.
Not a fan of TCU women's basketball, but
course
you know, they're just mean. But Indiana, South Carolina, that actually should be kind of a good game. I think it'll be if you can catch South Carolina off guard. I don't want them to because I want South Carolina to win.
They're winning.
But if you can catch them off guard, then you could definitely take a good game down to the end.
Yeah, what I was noticing just looking at the scores of the women's games versus the men games, I don't know if it's just like there's a lot bigger kind of like disparity between the really good teams and the lower tiered teams in the women or what, but like you were seeing the like top women's team crushing their opponents by like 50 plus points, like
Yeah.
almost doubling their scores. Like the number of games that were like the top team scored over 100 points and then the other team scored like 40 or 50. Like you were not seeing that in the men's tournament as much. So it'll be interesting to see onto this next round of 32, you know, if these teams that are like crushing it, like Notre Dame scored over 100, South Carolina scored over 100. I know there were a few of them, and it's like, are they going to be able to still like have that much offense in this next round, or are these other teams going to kind of be able to shut them down a little bit?
Yeah, and I saw a tweet that was like the women's tournament doesn't really start until the Elite Eight. And I think it's kind of true because kind of like you said, I mean, there's teams crushing each other. And for men, you always have Cinderella stories or they're always closer and everything. But yeah, for women, I mean, all of these really top schools like UConn, South Carolina, LSU, USC, like different ones, they always bring in the best players. And like for women basketball, I mean, there's the best and then there's like the rest. And so they take all in the best players, all like South Carolina has like 10 McDonald's Americans. And so to take them all in and then you have to play against these other schools like Oklahoma State and like, you know, and they would have just, UConn would have destroyed us by 100. I mean, like that's just, I think there really is that kind of parity between the both.
Yeah, very interesting. I wonder, just as women's basketball is growing, if we're going to see kind of that gap close a little bit between some of these teams, just like more interest going in. So then more money will be funneled to these teams so they can get better recruits, have better like facilities, all that kind of stuff, to maybe bridge that gap a little bit. Obviously,
I really hope so.
Yeah, it's not going to be something that happens, you know, in the next like 2 years, but maybe within the next 10 or something like that. Yeah.
That would be amazing. Definitely.
Do you have any other sports social news?
Yeah,
or topics you'd like to discuss?
Oklahoma City Thunder. They clinched the Western Conference.
Wow.
Yes, they're the first to clinch.
I was about to say that's pretty early to clinch.
Yeah.
Just
they
like
were the first to clinch playoffs. They were the first to clinch the division. They were first to clinch the conference.
Are they first in the league?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Number one in the league. Number one in our hearts. Mm-hmm. Yep. So suck it, Mavs fans.
Yeah. Maybe they should transfer and become Oklahoma City fans.
I mean, I think so. I'm recruiting one in there, and then recruiting my friend Russ as well. So you know, If you
One
if
at
you
a
like a
time.
good basketball team, just come on over. Come on.
Oklahoma City, always accepting new fans.
Always, always.
Speaking of new fans, I did see that the PWHL is going to be announcing their 2 expansion teams in the coming weeks. So that's pretty exciting. I think it's going to go one of 2 ways. It's either they're going to introduce 2 West Coast teams or no West Coast teams, because I don't think it would make sense for them to have one when
Yeah.
almost all of them are East Coast based, to have one West Coast, so then everybody has to travel over there, and then that one has to
Yeah.
travel all the way over there. It's like you either need to have 2 out west, or at least somewhat west, like a Denver and a Seattle, or Denver and Vancouver,
Yeah.
or something like that, or you need to have none in the West until they add more teams. So
Yeah.
I would love if they added a team. I'd like if they could
Yeah.
do like Seattle and Vancouver, that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Even if they did like Seattle and Denver, get that little split in the middle between all the teams, like that would be great. But I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. So
I think that'd be kind of smart to do Seattle and Denver, because then it's kind of like you're carrying along like the line and then make your way over to the East Coast. But
yeah,
I mean, because I doubt they would not go to California. They wouldn't go anywhere like that. But like Vancouver would be awesome. But yeah, no, I would love Seattle, Denver. I think that'd be nice.
yeah, that'd be cool. And
I mean,
speaking,
come down to Dallas.
I don't know if they're there yet.
No, not yet, not yet.
But also speaking of Denver, we had announced in a previous episode that the Professional Women's Soccer League, the NWSL, they're getting a team in Denver, and I just saw a post the other day that they're gonna create a whole new facility for them, and it was going to be the biggest and most expensive professional women's sports complex.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact details of like the amount it costs or whatever, but it's going to be ready. I think maybe they said like 2027 or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, the biggest and most expensive specifically for pro women's sports. I was like, that's crazy.
awesome. Oh my
So
god,
that's super cool.
growing the game, love it. Heck
Um,
yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got for right now.
Yeah.
But no, at least, next week we'll have definitely more to talk about with March Madness, both men's and women's. We'll have more hockey, we'll have more NBA, we'll have, softball, baseball we can touch on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot coming. Also, what starts next week, the UFL. So,
Oh,
yes.
interesting.
So we got Spencer Sanders playing on the DC Defenders. We got
man.
Kellen Mond playing at the San Antonio Brahmas. We got
Wow.
Matt Corral playing at Birmingham Stallions. So
Big names out there.
yeah, and Arlington Renegades are terrible, and they have Perez still as their quarterback. So we're not going to root for them. We're going to root for all the others.
Great.
So we got a lot coming, y'all.
Oh, when you mentioned softball, one thing I did see yesterday, number 1, Oklahoma
Yes.
Sooner softball, brought down by unranked University of Missouri.
Yes.
I loved it. I just saw the little highlight, like, down goes number 1. I was like, yes.
Yes. Yeah, they won 3-1.
The dynasty
It
of
was good.
Oklahoma softball. I mean, they always lose at some point every
Yes.
year,
Yeah.
but it's always
But it's
great when
always
they lose.
great. It's always great.
Great every time.
It feels great. Even though they're not even in the Big 12 anymore, it
I know.
feels so amazing.
They're probably still going to go win a national championship this year.
1,000%. But
it's
it
fine.
feels
They
good.
lost. They can't go. They can't go undefeated now.
We'll remember the loss.
Oh, OU fans probably will not. They'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they'll
We're
be
still
like,
gonna
whatever.
win."
We got 4 rings.
At least. They probably have more.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
All right.
Alrighty.
Other than that, I think that's all we got today. Be sure
Alrighty.
to tune in next week. Leave a comment on either Spotify or YouTube if anything you'd like us to talk about. And we will be back next week.
Alrighty, and this was the Sports Social Club with Alex and Jess.
See
I'm
ya.
Alex. I'm Jess. Am I who am I? Bye.
Bye.